So many takeaways from the time on the bench. There's the systemic things, there's the big picture things, there's the issues around homelessness. Those conversations were great, but from the personal side, just one of the things, the effort was not to, and the intent was not to experience what somebody who is really experiencing homelessness is going through, but sitting on a bench overnight in that situation, it was not comfortable. It was hard. It was cold that night, and it's not even cold yet, right? It was only 41 degrees, 42 degrees that night, but windy. There's a reality of I've been here at Water Street and living where I live for a long time. I have friends who have experienced homelessness. I feel like I've always been empathetic to what people are experiencing, but the reality is experiencing that physically, it does deepen your understanding. Like even the next night and even last night, knowing that there was a frost warning felt different, having been out on a bench overnight in 40-degree weather, to think about what our friends who are on the street now when it's 35 degrees, what does that feel like in several weeks when it's 20 degrees? What is that like? So there's a deeper level of empathy. But beyond the physical, I think my conversation with David was what really struck me and shifted my mindset a little bit, because the whole time I was on the bench, I was surrounded by, or in a very short amount of time was going to see somebody who saw me as a person of value, of somebody worth talking to, somebody worth engaging with, that we had mutual positive impact on each other. I was in a positive space relationally through the whole thing. The reality that our friends experiencing homelessness go through, David mentioned in our conversation that within 2 days of leaving our shelter and going back on the street, within 2 days, he felt that everybody he encountered either thought he was invisible or inhuman. And that is not something that an experience on a bench could ever give me, nor would I want to experience. But the impact that had on him, how within 2 days of being back on the street, he knew how people were seeing him and how they viewed him. And the one place that he found something different was at a church. But understanding that, how hard it was for me to spend a night on a bench when I was surrounded by people who cared about me, who valued me, who saw me as worthy, can't compare. And so it's deepened my level of empathy and understanding the experience, but the conversations as well. And I'm grateful to David for helping me see that angle of things. I've heard it, but sitting on a bench, talking to somebody who's experienced it's a little different. So hopefully you were impacted a little bit as well.